Hope that you are well and also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on regular past tense. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of language arts, grade 2. And once we've selected the grade, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of regular past tense. All right, so our chapter is regular past tense. Our subject is English language arts, grade 2. And the lessons that we are going to focus on today under the chapter of regular past tense, it's to identify verbs in the regular past tense and also which sentence is in the regular past tense. So we're first going to identify the verbs that's in the regular past tense, and then we are going to say and identify which sentence is in the regular past tense. All right, so a verb, right? A verb is a doing word or it's an action, right? So once again, a verb is either a doing word, or we can say that a verb is an action, right? It's something that you are doing. So the fact that you are, let's say, watching your screen, that is a verb. Or you are typing, it's a verb. Or you are listening, it's a verb, right? It's something that you are doing. Cooking is a verb. Washing or bathing is a verb, right? It is a doing word. So the past tense, it usually tells us something that has already happened, right? So our chapter is regular past tense, which means that we need to talk about things that happened already, right? It's in the past. Anything that happened this afternoon, that's in the past. That is now the past tense because we are past that hour, right? Whatever that happened yesterday is in the past tense. Whatever happened last year is in the past tense, right? Last month is in the past tense. Even whatever that happened an hour ago, we can also say that is in the past tense. So we said that past tense, right? So the past tense, it usually tells us about something that has already happened. So something that has already happened, that's in the past. And then when it comes to regular past tense, right, which is our chapter, a regular past tense verb, it ends with the word with the two letters ed. So it ends with ed. So if we have, let's say, for example, our verb, right? So if you have your verb, I'm gonna make a few example of verbs. We have jump. You can also give me a few verbs that you have. Jump. We have dance, right? Is a verb. Laugh. When you're laughing, it's a verb. Um, when you're watching something, it's a verb. Give me another verb, right? So in the meantime, this is a few verbs, right? This is 4 verbs. So while you're thinking of more verbs, now these are verbs that is currently showing present tense, right? They show something that is happening now. But if we want to show the regular past tense, right, of these verbs, then we add an ed. So today I jump. Yesterday I jumped. And as you can see, we added an ed, right? Today I dance. Yesterday I danced. And we added either a D or an ED. Same with laugh. Today I laugh or I laugh, right? And yesterday I laughed so loud. Today I watched Cocomelon and yesterday I watched iCarly, right? So we add an ed, right? So these are regular past tense. If you can add an ed to show the past tense of it, then that is a regular past tense. The word run, right? Run is an irregular past tense because the past tense of run is ran, right? So run, the past tense is ran. So this is an irregular past tense, right? But these are regular past tense if we can, because we can't say I runned it, right? So which means that run is an irregular past tense. So the regular past tense, it ends with an ed if we want to show the past tense form of that verb, right? All right. Can we think of more words that are regular past tense verbs? More regular past tense verbs. We can even say smile, and smiled is a regular past tense verb. Smile, right? I smile now. Earlier on, I smiled with Hannah, right? So that is also a word. Hid is, so hide, right? Is the is an irregular past tense because hide, the past tense of hide is hid, right? So this is an irregular past tense. So if the wording kind of changes, right, then it's an irregular past tense, meaning it does not follow any rules like adding an ed or just a d, right? What is the past tense of sad? Even knock, right? Sarah knocked on my door. Earlier on, she knocked on my door. right? So remember, regular past tense is when we can either add ed. You see, like the ones that I did over here, right? They end with an ed if you want to show the past tense. Those are regular past tense. These words over here, which is run and hide, it is irregular past tense, right? No, the past tense of sad is not happy. That is the opposite. We call that an antonym, right? We call that an antonym because an antonym is an opposite meaning. So the opposite of sad is happy, right? So, all right. So if we look at an example of a regular past tense within the sentence says, we washed the car a few days ago. What do you think is the past tense form of within that sentence? It says, we washed the car a few days ago. What is something that they did a few days ago? All right, and if we choose the regular past tense within the sentence, it says, we washed the car a few days ago. And then we can say, washed is our regular past tense. And as you can see, washed ends with an ed, washed. All right, so now we are going to select the past tense verb, right? Within, you'll see these sentences over here. Here we have Jacob smiled at Haley. So Jacob smiled at Haley. What is the past tense verb within that sentence? We need to underline the past tense verb within that sentence. It says Jacob smiled at Haley. What is the past tense verb? So we need to identify or select the past tense verb. What is the past tense verb? It says Jacob smiled at Haley. What is Jacob doing? So what is Jacob doing? All right, so we can say Jacob smiled at Haley. So smiled is our regular past tense verb, right? So our regular past tense verb is smiled. If you look at the next one, it says, we knocked on the door. We knocked on the door. What is the past tense verb? The past tense verb. We knocked on the door. So we knocked on the door. We need to identify the past tense verb within that sentence, the action within that sentence. What is the action? What are we doing? All right, so then we can then just say that we, so knocked is a regular past tense verb. So knocked is a regular past tense, right? The next one says Russell waved from the window. Russell waved from the window. What did Russell do? We need to select the past tense verb. What did Russell do? Russell waved from the window. All right, and if we choose the correct past tense verb, then it is waved, right? And waved ends with an ed, knocked ends with an ed, smiled ends with an ed. All right, so now before we go to A plus students, we are now going to say which of these sentence is in the past tense, right? So I'm going to read out two sentences. You're going to say which one of these sentences are in the past tense, the one on your right or the one on your left, right? We're going to say if it's the past tense or which one is in the past tense. The first one is, it says, Mom will place the house plants outside next spring, or my mother piled the blankets on the bed. We need to say which one is in the past tense. In the past tense. So which one is in the past tense? Is it mom will place the house plants outside next spring? Or my mother piled the blankets on the bed? We need to say which one is in the past tense. And look at the word that ends with an ed. That will tell us if it's in the past tense. All right, no problem. Remember, we need to look at the sentence that has the past tense. Okay, so let me rather do this. I'm gonna read the sentence and then you will tell me if that sentence is in the past tense, or you're gonna say if it's not in the past tense, right? Guys, before we continue, do we understand what past tense is? All right. Remember the past tense, it shows that something had happened. And the past tense, the regular past tense, it ends with an ed, right? The verb. And the verb is a doing word, right? So I'm going to read a sentence, right? And you're going to say if it's either in the past tense or if it is not in the past tense, right? It says, Mom will place the houseplants outside next spring. Is that sentence in the past tense? It says, Mom will place the houseplants outside next spring. Is that in the past tense or not in the past tense? All right, so if we look at the sentence, right, it says mom will place, and will place, it shows it's not the past tense, right? All right, let's rather go to aplusstudents.ca. Guys, let's go to aplusstudents.ca. And this is where we're going to show the regular past tense. We are now going to do our test, right? And before we do the test, it says the past tense, it usually tells about something that had already happened, right? That had already happened. And the regular past tense, it ends in ed. So it ends in ed, right? All right. So let us go to our test. We now need to select the past tense verb, right? So we're going to select the past tense verb. My sister teased me. We need to select the past tense word or the verb. Is it teased or is it me? My sister teased me. Is it teased or is it me? The regular past tense. Teased or me? The first one or the second one? All right. And if we choose the correct options, right? Then yes, we can say option one. So option one is correct because teased is our past tense verb. So well done. Teased is correct. The next one says Jesse closed the book. So Jesse closed the book. We need to say which word is the past tense verb within that sentence. Is it the first option, which is closed, or option two, which is book? So closed or book? So closed or book. We need to say which one is our past tense verb. Closed or book. All right, so if we choose the correct past tense verb, right, and then we will say closed. So well done. Closed is correct. Right, so the first option, which is closed, is correct. All right, and we're looking at the next one. The next one says the plane landed. The plane landed. We need to say which one is the past tense verb within that sentence. Is it the first one, which is plane, or the second one, which is landed? Plane or landed. Right. So if we choose the correct past tense verb, then we will say landed. Right. So landed is our past tense verb, and landed, it shows what happened to the plane. So well done. It landed. All right. Let's look at the next one. It says, I tied my shoes. So what did I do? I tied my shoes. I tied my shoes. Is tied our past tense verb or shoe our past tense verb? Tied or shoe our past tense verb. So tied, which is option one, or shoe. I tied my shoe. Is it tied or shoe? That's the past tense verb. All right, and if we choose the correct one, we can say tied, right? Which is the first option. Guys, you're not giving answers. You're not interacting. All right, let's go and look at another one. We need to select the past tense verb. The boy changed his shirt. The boy changed his shirt. We need to say or select the correct past tense verb. The boy changed his shirt. Is it changed or shirt? Which one is the past tense verb? Changed or shirt? The boy changed his shirt. Is it changed or shirt? All right. And if we choose the correct option, right, and then we will say it is changed, which is the first one. So well done. The first one is correct. Oopsie. So changed is correct. Now we're going on to the next one, which says, which sentence is in the regular past tense? We now need to say which sentence is in the regular past tense, right? Remember, we said the past tense, it usually tells us about something that has already happened. And the regular past tense verbs, it ends with ed. Ends with ed. So something that has already happened, right? It ends with ed. And we made an example and we said we washed the car a few days ago. We washed the car a few days ago. Now we need to say which sentence is in the past tense. It says Patrick will kick the ball to Anne. So Patrick will kick the ball to Anne. Is that sentence in the past tense? Do you think that sentence is in the past tense? When they say Patrick will kick the ball to Anne, is that in the past tense? All right. So if we look at that sentence, right, it says Patrick will kick the ball to Anne, which means that this is not a regular past tense. This basically shows future tense, right? Because it's something that he still needs to do, right? But if we say we shared the bread and apple, we shared the bread and apple, then that is in the past tense. All right, so let's go to our test. We are going to say which sentence is the regular past tense. It says, which sentence is in the past tense? They will cross the river, or the man called his son. They will cross the river, or we say the man called his son. Which one is in the past tense? The first option or the second option? they will cross the river, or the man called his son. All right, and if we choose the sentence that's in the past tense, then we can say the man called his son. Option two. So well done. Option two is correct. Which sentence is in the past tense? He bangs on the door, or she visited me. He bangs on the door, or she visited me. We need to say which one is in the past tense. So he bangs on the door, or do we say she visited me? We need to choose the sentence that's in the past tense. He bangs on the door, or she visited me. All right, so if we look at we choose the sentence that's in the past tense, we can say she visited me, right? And that shows the past tense. All right, we look at the next one. It says she joked about the game. She joked about the game. Or the telephone rings. We need to say which one is in the past tense, the sentence that's in the past tense. She joked about the game, or the telephone rings. Look at the word that's in bold. That will tell us if the verb is in the past tense. She joked about the game, or the telephone rings. All right. And if we look at the correct past tense verb, then it is the first option. Right? So the first option is correct. Yes, 4 more minutes, right? All right, let's just finish our test and then we will be done in 4 more minutes, right? It says, we will camp tonight, or the band paraded through town. So we will camp tonight, or the band paraded in town. We need to choose the sentence that's in the past tense. Look at the words that's in bold. That is going to help us to see, or to identify the verb that's in the past tense. So we will camp tonight. or the band paraded through town. All right, and we will choose the second option, and that is paraded through town. The band paraded through town. So well done. Paraded is correct. All right, two more, and then we are done. It says, which sentence is in the past tense? Mr. Garrett returned the book. Mr. Garrett returned the book. Or do we say the ball rolls away? The ball rolls away. We need to choose the past tense form. So Mr. Garrett returned the book or the ball rolls away. All right, and if we choose the correct one, we can say Mr. Garrett returned the book. All right, one more. You remembered my name? Or the second option that says the little girl swings. We need to say which one is in the past tense. You remember my name or the little girl swings. Option one or option two. All right, and if we choose the correct one, then we can say that you remembered my name. So well done. Option one is correct. All right, so we said that regular past tense, it shows actions or things that happened in the past, right? And usually the if we show the regular past tense and then the regular past tense, it ends with ed. And we made an example of a few regular past tense like jumped, smiled, laughed, knocked, right? Those were a few regular past tense, right? So this is now the end of our lesson on regular past tense. Thank you very much for joining our session. And I really hope you're going to have a good evening further. I'm not sure if it is Easter weekend in your country, but if it is, then you should have an amazing Easter and enjoy it with your family. All right. So till next time, goodbye.